It's time we visit with a good friend, Chuck Renes from Renes Greenhouse. A great day to grow is what we call this segment. There's a lot of things that we're going to learn coming up in the next couple of minutes, so stick around for this. Of course, Chuck, weather is changing. Obviously, things have turned.
It definitely has turned, and everybody's stuff is pretty well gone. I think it was Meredith downtown. I was by there the other day, and they still got some beautiful geraniums down there that's really looking nice. But most stuff is pretty much bit the dust now.
Took it on the teeth.
Yeah,
I've been still covering mine with a sheet, and things look halfway.
Yeah, if you know, people, you know,
like
we've had a couple pretty good frosts, but like I say, if you've covered it up, and maybe we'll still have some Indian summer here. Can we tell me again what's an Indian summer?
You have to have a hard freeze first, which is like 28 degrees.
So we've really not had that yet.
Not officially in Des Moines. Some places have up north. Yeah.
Right.
Now, are the mums still surviving in some areas?
Oh, mums should still be fine. You know, we're clear out of mums out at the greenhouse. We've sold everything we had out there, but mums should be fine. The only thing, you know, really now that you need to do, mums, perennials, all your trees and shrubs that you planted this year, it is getting extremely dry. Yeah. You know, down in the ground, and I mean on top too, but even down it's dry. And even if we get, you know, this time of year it doesn't seem like it rains very much. Is that? I mean, when it does rain, we don't get the 2 and 3 inch rain.
Right.
Usually.
We don't have the access to the Gulf of Mexico that we do during the summer. That's pretty much it.
Okay,
so we don't usually get the heavy rain.
So we might get a rain, but that, if you want your perennials and all your newly planted trees and shrubs and mums and everything you planted, they really need a good watering now. And you know, a good watering isn't just go out there and give them a squirt. The best way to water that stuff so it gets down really deep and stuff, and that's going to help that stuff all survive during the winter, is to just take your hose and lay on it and just let it kind of trickle or drip on it for several hours. And I mean, really water it. And if you've got, you know, new trees and shrubs that you've planted this year, that's something you just let your hose trickle on that all night long.
Now, do you need one of those stakes you hook your hose up to and then drive it in the ground? Do you need one of those?
No, those are more for, you know, the stuff you've planted this year isn't down that deep yet.
Okay.
Those roots are just kind of starting out, so you just need to get that root ball wet and down below it. Mature trees, if you want to water them, that's when you get that root thing. But mature trees, you know, once you get a tree that's a few years old, it's down there and it's fine. It can withstand the dry. But perennials, mums, all that stuff, that's the grasses, that's the biggest thing to make that stuff winter over is plenty of moisture. A couple years ago when it was so dry, there was grass out at Adventureland that had been there for 30 years that died because it was just so dry.
It freezes a lot deeper.
Yes, and harder, and it just, that stuff won't come back. So you just need to get plenty of moisture on that stuff.
Okay, now speaking of grasses, is this the time you put grass seed down too then, or not?
If you're going to do it, you need to get it done, because it's nice if you put that grass seed down. Fall's a good time to do it, but you need to do it because it needs to halfway germinate. You know, get it started growing and go from there. But if it goes too much longer, I would suggest wait until spring.
Okay. I would say if you're going to do it today or tomorrow.
Yeah, get it done.
Friday and
true, yeah.
You know. Yeah, my opinion, the best time to put grass seed down is if you can figure out the last snow of the spring, and do it in the snow. And then when the snow melts, that grass seed kind of gets hooked down to the soil, and it has the moisture and stuff to get started. And
that makes sense.
That's a good time to do it.
Okay.
So
now, of course, when it's getting colder, some of your plants are starting to show some signs of the cold weather hitting them.
Yep. And
we have some examples of this, and you explained something about this first one that I at first thought might have been wind, and you said no, it was not wind.
Yep, these are some of Lou's elephant ears that was really magnificent this year. But what I think has happened to that, you can see how that big leaf has kind of curled. So when that leaf froze, of course the stalk was froze,
straight up, yeah.
It was straight up, and that froze. But when that froze, that made that leaf, the moisture in that leaf, way more and stuff, and then the stalk being froze, that's what broke that off.
It was just so it wasn't the wind or anything.
It wasn't the wind.
It was the weight of the leaf after
just
it froze.
Just the weight of the leaves.
Now these guys are on the downward spiral as well.
Now any time now that these have froze, the best thing to do now is just cut those off and take you a nice spade and dig those up. and
Oh, I cut them off now? I can do it?
You can do it now because
Oh, okay.
those are froze. I mean, that's what those are froze.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to enjoy them a little bit longer, you still got a couple leaves there, but they're pretty much done doing what they're going to do, and they're kind of starting to look crappy. So, just take some scissors and cut them off about ground level, and take a spade and dig that bulb up. Put that bulb in your basement or somewhere, the garage. If it doesn't, you don't want the bulb to freeze, but you want that bulb to get cold, and that will suffice till next year, and then.
Do it again.
You won't have to go to the Home and Garden Show and buy those things, and you'll be ready to go.
All right. Well, you helped me pick them out, so you did a good job because we were worried for a while, but they finally came to life.
They look great.
They need the heat. That's something. Those are just a type of caladium, and the caladiums need a lot of heat to get started. And that's once they get going, though, they're good in the summertime.
Now you referenced the fact that you're out of mums, you're out of pumpkins. You guys have done extremely well.
We've had a really super good year. I mean, everything that we had is done. We went through about 10,000 mums.
Whoa,
about 70 bins of pumpkins, and that stuff's
all of them, like
gone.
even the snowballs, they're all gone.
Everything's gone. I mean, there was about 6 mums left on Monday and about 12 pumpkins, and Monday at noon they went in the dumpster and we called it a day. So,
so they're all gone.
Those mums, we'd had those mums for about 5 months, and that's good enough for me. And
the mums were done.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the poinsettias. People think we have tons of poinsettias in our house and stuff. Well, we started growing those poinsettias back in July. We're just glad that them suckers are gone and out of the greenhouse when Christmas comes. So,
all right. So what's the status of?
So we're just gonna be closed here for a couple weeks, getting ready for Christmas and stuff. It's hard to believe, but we're only a couple weeks away from going up to getting wreaths and stuff, and so we're just going to be closed here till about the middle of November, and then we'll be back in business and ready to go.
Okay.
So
and it looks like
running.
So you're opening a pie shop instead.
Well, I'll tell you,
maybe that's what you should do.
Joyce could, but it takes her. God, I didn't get supper last night till 9 o'clock because she was baking pies. So.
There's
and we don't want that to happen.
No,
well, maybe you don't want that to happen. I think it's just fine,
and
Joyce.
I'll also tell you, we had another tragedy last night because I went to Burger King to get a tenderloin, and they don't have tenderloins anymore. So if anybody from corporate is watching for Burger King, that was a terrible mistake you made by doing away with the tenderloins. So let's get them back.
Okay.
But these are made from fresh apples that you guys had at
we had a friend that has apple trees, and he brings us in a bunch of apples, and those are excellent. She's an excellent cook, so they're very good.
Well,
very
it
good.
looks like it was worth the effort and worth your late supper last night.
Very good.
Even though you couldn't get your tenderloin.
Well,
we'll get you one from Bondurant from the grocery store. You'll like that
there
one
you
better.
go. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Even though you're going to be closed for a couple of weeks, which we understand, getting in preparation for the holidays.
Yep.
If people have questions, should they go to your Facebook page?
Yep, you can go to the Facebook, give us a call, and then next week I have a really cool picture. I got this. I got something in yesterday that is just absolutely awesome. That I'll bring a picture in next week, and
we like awesome
we'll show
things.
you. Yeah, it is neat.
That works.
So.
All right, but again, for the record, Renes is taking a little hiatus.
Yep, we're taking a little hiatus, so we'll be closed for a couple weeks. Middle of November, we'll be back. And but if you have any questions or anything, we still answer in the phone, and we're still there most of the time. So give us a call, and we'll see what we can do.
Wonderful.
All
Great
right.
job,
Very
as
good,
always.
guys.